Hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Let me get my camera set up right.
When you're holding out these.
Let's all right, let's cut out. All right. Let's see what's playing.
Talk back.
All right. There we go. All right, so we're going to talk about 4 steps to better credit. Let's take a look at some of the comments. Very good, very good. All right. All right, so 4 steps to better credit. Nice, nice. So we got Darrell Wakefield score went from 500 to 705. So 4 steps to better credit. We've sold almost 200 copies in the first month, and I'm very excited about that. What I want to do today is to have a Q&A. So we're going to let some people come on, check me out live, ask your questions. If you have not yet received or purchased a copy of 4 Steps to Better Credit, you can do that now. I have a good number of copies here physically that I could get to you. Let's see here. So if you want an autographed copy, instead of buying through Amazon, you can actually go to my website, go to brianponder.com, click the buy button, put your name in the box on who you want me to autograph it to, and I will send you a personally signed copy in the mail. So, guess a few people joining on in. All right. All right, so some things that you can find in this book will include how to review your credit report, what to look for, how to delete derogatory things from your credit report, what you should delete, what you should keep. I have a whole chapter dedicated to adding positive credit to your credit report. And by the way, for the deletion, I have a actual letter template in here for you to follow. You're going to use that to delete items from your credit report. I have the next chapter is dedicated to adding positive credit to your credit report. A lot of people don't understand that improving your credit is not just about deleting. So you see a lot of credit repair focus on deleting, but that's just one part. Another part is adding positive credit. And a lot of you are seeing a big trend of buying trade lines. Well, I don't recommend that for a couple of reasons. One, when you're buying trade lines, all you're really doing is getting a temporary listing as an authorized user. That is not your primary trade line, meaning it's not yours and it's not there to stay. Sometimes people are spending hundreds and maybe thousands of dollars buying trade lines when, a month or two later, they don't have it anymore and their credit score drops again. So be very wary of buying trade lines. I have a whole chapter dedicated to show you how to add your own primary trade lines. Now, what's special about what I'm talking about in this book is that these trade lines are primary trade lines, not authorized user trade lines, meaning these are going to show up as your own trade line. Additionally, you're not going to be spending thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars to make a security deposit for a secured credit card. Secured credit cards are good, positive trade lines for those that can't get a regular credit card, but there are some sources where you can get guaranteed approved credit. And these are the sources that I'm going to give you in this book. You'll be able to get about at least $14,000 worth of guaranteed credit that does not require a security deposit. And then I'll give you some resources to some credit cards for people that may have difficulty getting credit cards. So this is all, that's in chapter 3. So chapter 3 is dedicated to adding positive credit. Chapter 4 is dedicated to how you could use lawyers to help you with this process. A very important part of anything, especially credit, is having legal leverage. And you want to have that leverage right away. So I'm going to show you how you could get lawyers to help you in your process without having to break the bank, as the book says. Typically, when you think about a lawyer, you think about having to pay a big retainer fee or high hourly rate. I'm going to show you how to avoid that and have a lawyer on call at all times throughout this entire process. So this book is going to help a lot of people. Around this time, people are trying to prepare to get a home by summer or by the end of the year. Well, this is a great way to start. You can grab a copy of this book, implement these 4 steps, and be on your way. Let's see. So we're going to take a look at any comments. All right. All right, very good. So those of you that are just joining in, if you have any questions, you can type them in. Any comments, let me know. Let me read a portion of this. Let's see what chapter you want to start at. Let's go to chapter 1. Credit reports are generated and published by consumer reporting agencies. Consumer reporting agencies are typically called credit bureaus. However, they are not bureaus, which seem to imply related to government. Consumer reporting agencies, which I abbreviate as CRAs, are not related to government. However, CRAs are regulated by the government. CRAs have to follow strict federal and state laws to the letter. The most relevant law that the CRAs have to follow is called the Fair Credit Reporting Act, or FCRA for short. The FCRA is found in the United States Code. All right, so that's from chapter 1. Let me give you some more information from chapter 1. CRAs must provide you with a free credit report if you request one after being denied credit or after any adverse action taken against you due to information found in your credit report. All right, information from chapter 1. Let's give you some more information. Next, there's a section I talk about inquiries and what happens when a company pulls your credit report. That's an inquiry or inquiry. It's pronounced either way. Furthermore, by law, the company needed your consent to pull or obtain your credit report in the first place. All of this is because of the FCRA. If any FCRA statute or law is broken, then you can sue the CRA, that's the Consumer Reporting Agency, and get up to $1,000 in statutory damages. That's all in Chapter 1. So a lot of you are wondering, well, how can you make the Consumer Reporting Agency like Equifax pay you? Well, if they break the law, you can get up to $1,000 statutory damages. Let me read what statutory damages are. Statutory damages are money damages predetermined by law that you do not have to prove by specific damage calculations. Also, by law, you can recover costs and attorney's fees that you incur for pursuing the FCRA violations. You are not required to have a lawyer to pursue these damages under the FCRA, but it is highly recommended. All right. All right, so that's that. So let's read some more Chapter 1. Hi, Ever Ready. Thanks. I'm glad you joined me live. In general, you should regularly review your credit reports, or consumer report as they are legally called, which are compiled and furnished by the 3 major national CRAs, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. However, I would add at least 2 more to that list. 1, ChexSystems, and 2, CoreLogic. All right. Good afternoon. A to the D, 3X. You can go back, but we were just talking about Chapter 1, about how if the CRAs break the law, they can be liable to you to up to $1,000 statutory damages. Taking questions. I was just letting everyone know. Of course, my new book out is called 4 Steps to Better Credit. I have a good number of copies at my desk. So those of you that want an autographed copy, all you have to do is go to my website, brianponder.com. You'll see a PayPal buy button. Above that button, you can type in the name you want me to sign the book to. I'll autograph it to you. And then click buy, and I'll actually personally sign and mail those books to you. You can, of course, also get it on Amazon, Amazon Prime. It'll be mailed right to your doorstep. It just won't be signed by me. Those are just regular copies like this one. Ones you buy using the buy button on my website, I'll just sign and mail to you. So those will come to you priority mail if it's sent from me. All right, so let's see. Let's read some more. Let's talk about CoreLogic. CoreLogic is another CRA that is headquartered in Irvine, California. CoreLogic compiles consumer data regarding housing activity. For example, if a person has an eviction or landlord judgment, then it may have been compiled and reported by CoreLogic. So, when a person with adverse housing history goes to apply for housing, like an apartment or rental home, the landlord or leasing company may pull a CoreLogic report, see the eviction, and deny the applicant based on this information. Therefore, it is very important to review the CoreLogic consumer report. This is especially true if you plan to rent housing in the near future, okay? And so I show you how to get that CoreLogic report. And again, just like any other CRA, you can get that report for free. A lot of you may have heard about the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. In Chapter 1, I talk about that agency. That agency is going to be very, very useful in helping you in dealing with some of these credit issues. Let's go to Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is talking about how to delete negative information from your credit report. Does this work on any state? Yes, all of these things we're talking about are based on a federal law that applies in all states. So this is the FCRA is federal law, which means it's federal, meaning every state is under that law. Federal law, by the way, is national law. State law is just dedicated to one state. So if something is California law, that means it's only applicable, in California. Whereas federal law is applicable in every state. So the laws we talk about here will help anyone, within the United States or its territories. So chapter 2, we talk about erasing negative information. To erase negative information, you must dispute it with the CRA, which is Consumer Reporting Agency, and or furnisher of the information. The furnisher of the information is the company that submitted the information to the CRA. This company may be a debt collector or an original creditor. Learn the difference between a debt collector and an original creditor. A debt collector attempts to or collects a debt from a consumer on behalf of another company, which is the creditor. For example, if a consumer had a Verizon telephone account that went to Acme Collection Company for collection and Acme listed it on the consumer's credit report, then Verizon is the original creditor and Acme Collection Company is the debt collector. The original creditor is the company that a consumer originally did business with or had an account with. All right. And then within this chapter, I give you the actual letter that you would use to dispute, the accuracy or completeness of information to get it deleted off your credit report. So this is that letter here. I write the whole letter template for you, and I put some information in brackets. And I write here, the words in brackets must be replaced with your own and edited as needed. There are many variations to this letter. However, leave all words that are not in brackets for the letter to have full legal effectiveness. So I give you a template letter here that I wrote specifically to help you erase things off your credit report that you do not need on there and should not have on there to improve your credit. And you want to include all the words that I give you so that it has the best effectiveness. All right. So, and I give you a good warning in here about using things that you may find on the internet that may not be appropriate. I warn you not to use many of the supposed templates on the internet that are not good at all. Namely, do not use the notorious 609 letter and others that encourage you to unlawfully make fake affidavits. Use the template example that I drafted above or a similar letter that I give you. However, again, be sure in any CRA letter to include the language in my sample letter above because it has key words that trigger the FCRA that some letters written by non-lawyers may not. While some sample letters online may be effective, most are not, and in fact are rejected by the CRAs as frivolous. Therefore, it is very important to draft your own dispute letters using the format I list above and, if needed, with the help of some templates that I recommend to you. All right. And then we talk about dealing with deleting. How much is the book? The book is $24.95. $24.95, Mary. Dispute all debt collection accounts directly with the debt collection company in addition to the CRA. I actually give you a letter for that as well. The letter to the CRA is different than the letter to the debt collection company. So you're going to send a certain kind of letter to the CRA, like Equifax. You're welcome, Mary. And you're going to send a different letter. So here's the letter that will go to the debt collector, separate letter. And what I call that is a 1692 GB letter. That's because 15 USC 1692 G B is the United States code that applies to debt collectors, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. So that's why I call that letter that. So this letter, I mean, I probably helped people delete hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt with this debt collection dispute letter. Very important letter. And I talk to you about how to use the CFPB to help you delete debt and to erase things off your credit report. There's a way you can use them to actually supplement all of your efforts. And guess what? It doesn't cost you a thing. So chapter 2 is very, very important. Chapter 3 is all about putting positive credit on your credit report. Ever ready? About to order your book? Great. Like I said, if you want to sign, the book is on Amazon. You see it on my website, brianponder.com. You can click the book and just order on Amazon. Also, if you want a signed copy, want me to sign you a copy and mail it to you, priority mail, like I said, I'll drop it in priority mail. On my website, you'll see a section where you can type your name in and click the buy button. Just type in the name that you want me to sign the book to, and I'll send it to you. So you just go to my website, put your name in that box where it says get an autographed copy, and then click the buy button. And I'll send you a copy. So I'll do that now if you did it now. All right, so chapter 3 is about adding positive credit. I'm gonna read some of this to you. Against popular belief, the more positive credit accounts you have, the better. Many financial gurus teach consumers to cut up their credit cards and avoid credit, i.e. credit cards, loans, etc. This is the horrible advice that they give consumers. However, I understand why they give that advice. Most consumers cannot wisely manage access to credit or money that is available to use in the form of credit cards. Credit cards are known as revolving credit. Revolving credit is money you can use, pay off, use again, pay it off, and use over and over again. That's why it's called revolving. And so here I talk about how even though most people can't really effectively manage credit and access to funds, you actually need that to improve your credit. So, some people tell you, well, in this book, I say I recommend 11 plus positive credit accounts. In actuality, to have the highest score possible, you're going to need really over 21, but I'm recommending 11 plus to get you really where you need to be, which is in the mid 700s. In the mid 700s, you can get anything pretty much that you want at the best rate out there. But to do that, again, you can't just delete all the bad stuff. You have to add positive credit. And so this chapter is dedicated to helping you add positive credit. And it shows you how to do that without having to put up large security deposits, etc. Now, chapter 4 is about how you can get yourself a lawyer to help you in this process without spending a lot of money. Let's see what part I want to share with you in this section. Lawyers can be your tool and secret weapon to better credit. Additionally, with a legal plan that includes trial defense, if any overzealous new creditor or debt collector sues you for a debt, you can have a lawyer respond to the lawsuit at no additional cost. Powerful stuff. So that's something that's going to be excellent for you. Many Americans are plagued by credit card debt and medical debt. Both of these debts are frequently sold to debt buyers. Debt buyers buy delinquent debt and attempt to collect it from the consumer. If a debt buyer is unable to get paid voluntarily, then it will, in some cases, sue the consumer. Some of the nation's largest debt buyers have teams of lawyers working for them. The debt buyer's lawyer's job is to sue consumers for debts that their debt collector staff is unable to collect voluntarily from consumers. Litigation is very fast paced and specialized. Even if the alleged debt is beyond the statute of limitations, a consumer may find him or herself as a defendant in a lawsuit with no idea how to deal with it. Like any big problem, getting help is expensive without insurance or a plan in place. Here again, this is where there's a great need to lawyer up. If the consumer did not lawyer up in advance, then it may cost more to retain or hire a lawyer than to pay the debt in its entirety. One may say, well, how can a lawyer defend against a valid debt? There are many legal defenses to a debt. An owed debt may be legally uncollectible. That is due to a legal affirmative defense called statute of limitations. If it is an affirmative defense because it is not asserted, then it is waived. Asserted means used, waived means lost. A lawyer knows how to properly assert this affirmative defense to help you avoid liability for the debt. Avoiding liability for the debt means you don't have to pay it. All right. So I try to explain this very simply. And I'm telling you, this information is very important. Now, some of you may be, listening to me and say, oh, I don't really care about all this information or details. I just want it done. Can't you just do it for me? Well, just think about it like this. Imagine if you didn't know how to wash dishes or make your own bed and you had to depend on someone else to do everything. Now, if you're in a position to have that kind of full-time staff, great. Same thing with your credit and finances. Sure, you could pay someone to full-time do everything for you. And first of all, that would get expensive. Imagine having to pay a lawyer or anyone to do everything for you. It's much wiser for you to understand how to do this, do some things yourself or understand the process, because you don't want to be 100% fully dependent on someone else. With you knowing what you have to do and taking certain steps to get it done, then you could use professionals as tools to assist you in getting it done versus spending thousands of dollars and paying people to do everything for you. Imagine if all the simple things in your life you had someone doing for you full time. It would be very expensive and really unattainable. Same thing here with your finances. You're going to have to take control of your finances, your credit. I broke it down into 4 easy steps. These are each steps that you can implement and quickly, fast meaning, within a year, this year, by summer, be in a position where you want to be. Okay. Without breaking the bank, meaning you're not going to have to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars, to get yourself in a position where you want to be. You're going to be able to do it at a reasonable cost, using the resources that you have available to you. You're going to be able to empower yourself and others. So if you want a copy of the book, go to brianponder.com. If you want a signed copy, click the buy button, put your name, type your name above that buy button of how you want me to sign the book to you. Or you can just order the book online and have a few bookstores that you can find the book at. Amazon, of course, and physical bookstores are listed on my website, brianponder.com. Any other questions? All right, excellent. So I want to thank you all that viewed this and who ordered a copy of your book. Let's see. All right. All right, very good. Thank you all for tuning in, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.